Okay, you guys can see this little pressure washer. So before I do anything to it, I've got to get some air in these tires. That is, you know what, makes it 3 times heavier than it should be, just because there's no air in there. I'm not going to be shy to use, what do they call that, green slime? And I want that tippet. Oh, this is a pain in the neck. Let's try a simpler method. Right, sometimes you realize the main objective is to drain the swamp, right? There. As soon as we get some air in these little wheels, then we can have some fun! Till Daddy takes the T-bird away. So, I guess... Such a simple process turns out to be a little bit of a gong show. It's the angle of the valves, eh? There we go. You hear that? Nothing like the smell of compressed air on a Sunday morning. Okay. So before this project is done, these babies are getting some green slime. Okay. Lordy. Now, that's better. Ramp. Okay, up we go. Okay, at least it's easy to move now. So, my friend, as in all pressure washers, you don't run them for very long when you've got no water connected, but we got to find out what it's doing. So, first of all, oil. This is a, oh my gosh, it's a strong owner or a weak mechanic. Okay, blurp, spilled oil. That's easy to wipe up. Okay. Gasoline. Don't see much in there. Excuse me. Well, there's enough to make it go. Did you want to have a little look at it to see how awful it looks? I think so. Ooh, that gas is not new. Well, we'll see what it does. I'll tell you what we're going to do. Put this gas back in there. It's clean old gas. That's last year's gas. Gas cap. Gas cap! Oh yeah. Honda. Love it. Okay, let's just start it up. See how badly it surges. His complaint was that it's surging. And the choke was on, so I'm assuming, I bet you that this thing has to run with the choke on. Are you ready? Let's throw a little light on this subject. Yeah, we're just going to throw a little bit of two-stroke fuel down there. It's probably going to flood it now. Okay, here we go. Well, it's not even staying running. So you guys saw that it was surging, and hard to start too. So that might be the old fuel, I don't know. The fuel looked okay. And it is a Honda 190, not a 160, which is what most of them are. So I think we're going to take that carburetor off and give it a bath in the... I'm going to give it a bath in my ultrasonic cleaner, which is heated up. And we'll go from there. We're not going to mess around. And we'll change the oil. These things don't get the hours on them like a lawnmower, or unless it's a commercial operation. But this is from a residential operation here. Whoa! You're looking at the ceiling now when I walked away. Okay. So, which side is the side we work on? Let's do this right. I'm going to put the unit there. Pardon me, I'm just going to tuck away this cord from a grinder I was using. Tools. I like to build this little U-shape area for my tools, and it just makes life easier. So let's just get this carburetor off of here. We can clean spark plugs, change oil, we can do all that stuff later. So Zippo, I know I should thank you every time I use this, but that's all we'd hear. Thank you, Zippo, thank you, Zippo, thank you, Zippo. We're going to use, hey, we'll go in metric. I've been working on a few Briggs machines and everything's standard. Alrighty. Let's just try this out here. I'm just having a look at my obstacles before we start going crazy. Crazy. Ooh, that was warm, not hot. Lucky. Well, let's just yank them out. I know Honda's pretty good now. Parts tray. Should be a little tube down there for the crankcase ventilation. Hey! Hey, bail out! I'm not losing it. Let's just set you guys right back in the corner over there so there's a bit more of an angle. Carburation. So now I'm just trying to get this carburetor off of here. Working on the Z bend. There we go. Z bend off. I'm going to put that Z bend back on the machine. Gosh, we should almost be off now, except for the choke. Okay, now the only thing is the, I'll just bring in, we're already there. I mean, it was the two bolts, the two long bolts that went through here, through the carburetor front to the back, and it was just sitting in there like that, right? Just like that. I undid the throttle Z bend right there, which is it right here to there. And now I just undid the choke one, and it should come out. But I want to get that fuel line off. There's now these crazy little clamps, just in my mind, are just useless. How many of you guys hate these little Honda teeny weeny clamps? Come on, there we go. See, that was nothing to it. I'm going to just put this back here if it'll stay, just so you don't forget it later. Right away. Are we still recording? Yes, we are. Okay. 10mm wrench. This is about the size of the carb that's on my lawnmower. Slightly different though. Good. Bottom should pop off. Okay, carburetor, simple. How did the bowl look? Looks just great. Float. Yeah. Gonna get that jet out of there. Might be a little, the slot might be a little bit too narrow for that screwdriver. And I tell you, these screwdrivers have just been great. Oh. There. Okay, now this is where I use my little doctor kit here. I got a little tiny Allen wrench, and I'm going to poke out the emulsion tube and the jet maybe. Well, that would really be crummy if we couldn't get the jet out, or the emulsion tube. That bugger is in there. So there's the jet right there. It should be, it's almost on the verge of coming out, but it's not turning lightly. So I use this little Allen key to go on top of the emulsion tube and push down. Wow! What the heck? Unless there's something I'm missing. There it is. It's right there on the edge. Yay! Got the tooth out. Now let's see if we can get that emulsion tube out of there. I have not encountered one this tight for a long time. There it is. Oh. So that's going to have some green slime on the end, I think. And it's right in the throat of the carburetor there, guys. You can't see it now, but it's right on that little hump right in there. There it is. Okay, so let's just have a look. Those 4 holes look okay, and those 4 holes look okay. Whew, you can even see where I scratched it on the surface when I took it out. All right, now I'm not going to blow this one too much, just a little bit, and we're going to put it into the ultrasonic cleaner. And then I think I'm going to upsize the jet a little bit. So just give me 2 seconds. Yes, I'm getting some carb spray, Zippo. But I like to see how they flow before I stick them in anyway. Just because I'm old school. We should see a good spray coming out of there. Now this carburetor spray is awesome. Look at this. The other sprays I've purchased at other stores does not flow like that. That's a pretty fine jet. Okay, now let's just do these. 1, 2. Magpies. There's been a few less since we took the trees out, but they are industrious little guys, and I'm sure they all have new homes now. But they know where the food is around here, so in the garden. Man, they eat a lot of ants. That's what I like about magpies. What I don't like about magpies is that squawk at 5:30 in the morning. Good. Now, if that one's closed, we got trouble. Wait, don't run. You know what? It might be a little bit closed. Let's just get that wire and run it around in there. That's interesting. So I cleaned a lot of carburetors right there. Now we're going to get the idle screw out of there. This one's probably just a screw on a fixed jet. This is definitely an older Honda carburetor. Definitely not very dirty. Okay, so now I'm just gonna, when I get my act together, we're gonna put this in the washer. All right, ultrasonic cleaner. Oops, I heated up the juice in the house. I use that coffee can and I stick it on high in the house stove. So here's the carburetor inside pieces. Here's the bowl and the carburetor itself, and I want it to drain out as the bigger holes. I think that just like that will be perfect, but I'm going to need a pair of pliers because that water's hot. Full submerge. And we clean. You can turn the heater off because the heater runs anyway, I've been told. We'll see what the temperature is when we're done. 30 minutes. Are you proud of me, Zip? I'm using the ultrasonic cleaner. So now I'm just going to disconnect this gas tank, and I'm just going to pour the gas out. And get all the crud if there is any. Power washers tend to be really clean, eh? Oh, power washers, pressure washers tend to be really clean. Okay. Now that's probably holding the whole world on there too, eh? Okay. Not much in there. Let's have a look. Geez, I even spilled a little bit, pouring it out of there a little bit. Well, it's kind of ugly. There's water in there too, eh? Can you see the water? Kind of just sludges around on the bottom. Gonna have a little fun. Let's make an experiment. Now, if I had some green dye, that would be fun. But now we have, I think you would have to agree with me that we have a little bit of water in the bottom of there. I'll show you one more time. It's kind of at about right where those pieces of crud are, at about 4:30 time-wise. So now I'm going to put a little bit of methyl hydrate into this. Lots of methyl hydrate, I guess. Mix her up. Now it's not going to make the old gas new again, but guaranteed the water is now dissolved in with the gas, and the dirt fell to the bottom. The dirt was suspended in the water. Cool! Alright, now I'm just remounting that tank, which goes onto the carburetor, right? Now, let's change the oil in this little bad boy. I think the pump itself is a sealed unit, unfortunately for us. Yes, I don't like those. But now, we can get a pail of some sort. Pow! Alright. Let's get the oil out of this motor. Oh, that's going to be a 12. Now, oops. Can I get that bolt out of it before it gets all leaky? Pretty close. That didn't feel like a 12, that felt more like an 11 on there. No, it's 12. Honda's used 12s, I was just thinking out loud. So now we are going to disconnect it with the air flow, see if that helps us all. We're going to tilt it. Spark plug. Okay. Put that back over there. Are you with me? Yes, you are. Just taking out the spark plug. BPR60S. You know, you have to give the owner credit. He's used this a little bit. It's not abused. I'm just going to clean up the spark plug and we're going to reuse it though. Be right back. Unless you guys want to watch me clean a spark plug. Oh my gosh. Okay. You do! Okay, 2 theories on cleaning spark plugs with a wire brush. Some guys say don't do it because you can get a wire brush jammed into the little holes in the spark plug, and other guys say go ahead. And no, I don't have a pair of gloves on. And it's so important to wear a mask. I just felt one of those little wires touch my shoulder. They come out of there at half the speed of sound, right? And I'm just going to clean this plug up and see how it looks. I like to reach down inside here like this. After I clean them on the wire brush, that gets anything out of there. Carbon, anything conductive, anything evil. And it looks just exactly about right on the gap. Just a little tiny bit smaller than our RJ19LM, excuse me. I'm going to check it. Anyway, I'll check this plug and throw it back in. Throw it in. GC190, 28 to 31. Pretty much the same as an RJ19LM, one of our flathead brakes. Alright, so now I am just putting some green slime. Oh boy, I don't like the look of that. Yeah, that's the spring off the... Okay, mumble. I'm just going to put some green slime in this tire. And don't worry, Klaus, I'm not going to get green slime in the air tool. Remember, I put air into these once already today, right? So I'll just take the valve out. This is smaller than a wheelbarrow, and their smallest suggestion is 237 milliliters. Good. So I'm just going to put in about 3/4 of an inch. I mean, you can use this thing with flat tires too, right? So this is just kind of a precaution. Valve stem. Green slime. Good. Ooh, goo. How much did I put in? We have about 3/4 of an inch. Now put the valve stem back in, but before we put the valve stem back in, we're going to blow away any of the green slime from the valve. Funny. And this is just science class all over again, right? Valve turner inner tool, a valve Schrader insert tool, or something like that. Remember, I'm just a self-taught self-taught backyard small engine mechanic, right? And just to save Klaus's mind, we're going to use just this little guy here instead of the we don't want to get green slime into this. Good. And we'll even use a manual tire pressure checker hooser. And it says not quite 30, so we're going to give it just a tiny more shot. I think I got the other side at 34 or something like that. Of course, at highway speeds, you got to go higher. Joke! Good. Okay. So now what we're going to do before we rebuild that carburetor is get this guy up in the air. And we can. It's a little lopsided, so I'm going to do. There we go. There's our solution. Now that's what you got to do, is just roll your tires around a little bit after you use the green slime so that they seat in. You can tell I'm thinking about something, right? I was going to just oil those wheels a tiny bit while they're in the air. Not that it makes any difference because they have a small bearing, sort of, kind of, you know. Good. All right. So now we'll just give those a twirl every once in a while. We'll throw this oil out, and we'll start rebuilding that carburetor. So after 5 years of fighting and wrestling in my shop, I'm starting to get a few cool things. Now, Schrader valve insert tool and valve cover. And now we're gonna put this back on here. Oh, dropped it. That's all right. Rag. Perfect. And there's a little more for use on another day. I use this stuff about once a month. Okay. So should we grab the stuff out of the I'm not going to bring you with me. You've seen enough. Okay. We're going to get a little tiny bit of water. We're going to rinse this. Actually, probably just rinse it with methyl hydrate. That'll be the same. I know some of you guys think I'm nuts. But you know what? I've got the time. Now let's start a conversation. The guys that use purple power, are you having a hard time with the aluminum turning dark? Or not? So I'll be right back, guys. Waste not, want not. This is old methyl hydrate. So now we are going to drill out the jets on this carburetor. And I think enough to be of notice. So do I use, yes, I'm going to use the tiny drill bits. And I think I'm going to use my new ones. As long as I don't get carburetor spray on the cover. Okay, here's the new ones. Look at that, one fingerprint, and look at that on there. So let's start small. Okay, we're going to go to 0.5. So that's half of a millimeter, if you can believe that. There it is. So I'm just going to check to see where we are on this main jet. Okay, we got a long ways to go. I was told 0.7, I've done it, 0.7 is another good place to start. Good. And if that doesn't go, we'll go down 1. Okay, so it's not going through. Remember, that's a 0.7. So now we're going to go to a 0.6. And 0.6 just goes through. Did you see that? Right there. Okay, so we put the 0.6 back. And we're going to do a 0.7. And I've been using the drill, and I've also used needle nose pliers. And needle nose pliers are pretty darn good with this if you can grab it at an angle like that. So here we go. We're going to drill this jet out. Not even 0.1 of a millimeter, right? Doesn't want to go? I'm going to go back down 1. Maybe I goofed. This is the really boring part to watch, but when you actually, there we go. When you actually get there, maybe these two are mixed. And to be honest with you, I don't think they're that accurate. Okay, that's loose. Okay, we're recording. Drilling. Honda brass jet up 1 size from 0.65 to 0.7 millimeters. It's going. All right, I've got my drill bit picked for the idle jet, and it's 0.5 of a millimeter. Yeah, it should work. It's a little off, but I need the depth. I better not go any further than that. Try it again. Give it a shot of good. All right, I think we can put this back together. Give me a few minutes. Well, you want to see another carb assembly? Reassembly? So, emulsion tube, main jet, drilled out, smallest of percentages, right? Good. Okay, float. Pin. And then there's a screw right here for the top of that idle jet that we drilled out. Good. Man, she's clean, eh? And this one has a fuel pump, so that's maybe why the bowl is just a little bit different, eh? So it's going to go on like that. Good. And that's the front face, and that's the back face. And we need some bolts, and we need this poor spring that is our dampener spring for the throttle. Yikes, it's just so bent up. I'm sad for it. I wonder if I can improve that bend a little tiny bit. Yes, just a little bit. Okay, so we're going to mount this carburetor. Oh, we got to turn this guy around because I was doing wheels, wasn't I? And what did I say about the wheels? I was going to give them a turn every once in a while. I'm just attaching the fuel line to the carb. Good. Good. Throttle rod. I'll show you what I'm doing in just 1 second. I might even black it out so you can't see. Dampening springs. Good. Good. Now I'll just get you a little look. So I was fighting with that. It's all loose, right? There, see? And I was putting the Z bend in for the throttle, and then the little dampening spring for the throttle action. And then I was making sure that this was facing the right way. And there's not much left. This front cover and the carb. All right, Dave. Once again, I'm using your trick. I'm using 2 dowels that have threads on the back, and I've got everything lined up. You can see it's all pretty wonky still, right? I've just got to connect the PCV hose there, and we're going to take out 1 pin at a time and insert the air cleaner and gasket. Hopefully you guys will be able to see a little bit of this if I come in at an angle. I've already got the you gotta get this, everything just has to kind of line up right, eh? Right, that's right. So now what we do is we take out one of the rods, like that. And now we insert this one. Oh, okay. No, that should go. That should go. That's just the breather. There we go. I'm just going to get the other one started on the gasket, if I can. Good. Now, we'll thread that baby all the way in. No wonder if I can get that other one out of there now. Everybody who's done this knows it's a little tricky. There it is. It's ready to come out now. And is this one threading in yet? No, it's not. But hold that gasket in place too. The guys that build these at the factory are probably watching these videos and they're just laughing their heads off. Eh? They do it so many times a day, it's like chewing gum. Oh man, I want to keep... There we go. I don't know if I got the gasket in or not. Second, guys, I got to back it up. That one, no. I don't even see. Oh, the whole thing fell out. Pardon me, you're looking at my back. So all we're missing is this bad boy right here. And unfortunately, this is going to have to come out again. That's too bad. Let's start again. Get this out of here. And that fell down, of course. And we'll get these little studs back in. Okay, I'm going to turn you guys off because I'm going nuts, and then you're not looking anyway. Okay, tubes. Now, usually with these multi-flanged Honda carburetors, I don't have too much trouble getting them in. But this one, I had a heck of a time lining it up, and it was that one little gasket back in there that kept falling out. So now I'm just going to tighten this up for you, and we're going to put some fuel in it and see if she flies. Without See if she flies without surging too, eh? He was running it on half choke. Just good. Just so it would run. All right. Our tires all stand. We'll get some fresh gasoline. Yes, gasoline. My daughter used to call it gasoline 37 years ago. We'll go outside and spray something. My next project, actually. You know what? Gasoline can be a major expense for a little guy like me. You do 4 or 5 machines a day and it really starts to add up. Not so much in dollars, but in like, oh man, I'm out of gas again. Okay, we got gas in the cylinder. I'll put a tiny bit of gasoline, or what do you call it, 2-stroke fuel in the cylinder. And leave those there. Are you still watching me? Almost, eh? Okay, so it should start. On, choke. No choke, choke, no choke. Connected, fuel. Ooh, that sounded bad. Sounded like something was rattling. Ah, fuel impulse line not connected. I turned it off. Man, that sounds bad. Okay, let's get some water connected to it. Final check. It's got oil. Air cleaner's back on. And after 3 attempts, I got the 2 long rods through, and I did this side first, and then I did this side first, and then I lowered the filter down, and got this last one to catch, and all the gaskets and everything line up. So it runs, but I didn't run it for long because it's not good for a pump to run dry, to run when there's no water lubricating it. Thank you. So I'll be back in 5 minutes when I get it set up in the yard. Okay, FYI, these Honda engines can run different with the air filter on. So let's just see. We'll run a little water through the pump. All right, let's see if she works. Good.